Four men sit in a dark, silent room, their eyes locked onto a single master monitor. The clock strikes 10 p.m. Suddenly, the screen explodes with numbers. In just 2 minutes, 10,000 cars are sold. By minute 5, bookings cross 30,000. And in a mind-blowing 27 minutes, over 50,000 cars vanish from the shelves. But pulling off the biggest launch in automotive history was far from easy. Meet the 4 unstoppable pillars of Xiaomi. Lei Jun, who risked his entire multi-billion-dollar smartphone empire. Tianmin Li, who walked away from a luxurious, high-paying career at BMW in Germany. Yu Liguo, who abandoned his established software kingdom. And Hu Jiangnan, the legendary godfather of automotive production. Together, they gave up everything, locked themselves in a secret laboratory, and fought melting engines, freezing batteries, and government bans. How did these 4 visionaries survive a brutal 1,000-day war to achieve the ultimate impossible miracle? In March 2021, Xiaomi's smartphone king, Lei Jun, announced his entry into the automotive industry. The biggest obstacle was that Xiaomi had absolutely zero experience in car manufacturing, supply chains, or automotive engineering. Giants like Tesla and BYD already ruled the market. If this project failed, it could drag down and bankrupt Xiaomi's core smartphone business, destroying the entire company. This marked the official entry of Lei Jun. Instead of just being a tech businessman, he threw himself entirely into the battlefield. Rather than relying on third-party manufacturers, he made the ultimate gamble, investing $10 billion of Xiaomi's cash directly into the project. He spent days and nights studying automotive regulations, shifting his entire focus from mobile chips to car chassis. The money and resolve were secured, but who would actually design the car? If the design didn't look as jaw-dropping and aerodynamic as a Porsche or a Tesla, customers would reject it on sight. Lei Jun now faced the challenge of creating a design that could compete with the world's most beautiful sports cars. Most electric cars on the market looked generic and boring. Xiaomi needed a highly aerodynamic sports sedan that could cut through air resistance effortlessly. But they lacked an international design team capable of drawing such a masterpiece. Lei Jun personally started headhunting top-tier designers globally. He established a secret design studio bridging China and Europe. By meticulously analyzing hundreds of legendary sports cars, Lei Jun and his core team began drafting a futuristic, low-slung chassis entirely from scratch. The blueprint was looking beautiful, but even the best design would fail if the body couldn't minimize aerodynamic drag. To make it a reality, they needed a true wizard from the traditional automotive elite. To maximize an electric vehicle's range and speed, the aerodynamic drag coefficient, or CD, must be exceptionally low. If a car fights the air, the battery drains rapidly. The designs Xiaomi's engineers were producing kept falling short of international supercar standards. At this critical turning point, Tianmin Li, the former head of exterior design at BMW in Germany, entered the mission. Lei Jun convinced him by saying, "At BMW, you will only design another car. Here, you will change history." Tianmin Li left his luxurious life in Germany to become Xiaomi's chief designer. Working around the clock, he sculpted the Xiaomi SU7, achieving an incredible drag coefficient of just 0.195, making it one of the most aerodynamic production cars in existence. The car was now stunning and built to pierce through the wind. But inside this beautiful shell, they needed a motor that could beat Tesla's top speed. Such a motor didn't exist anywhere on the market. Standard suppliers were offering motors that capped out at 16,000 RPM. However, to surpass Porsche, Xiaomi needed an ultra-powerful motor exceeding 21,000 RPM. Global suppliers flatly refused to build it, claiming that mass-producing a motor with that much raw power was technologically impossible. Backed by Tianmin Li's design team, Xiaomi refused to compromise. They abandoned external suppliers entirely and decided to engineer their own motor from scratch, naming it the Hyper Engine. They re-engineered the internal rotor structure, utilizing an innovative design that could launch the car from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a blistering 2.78 seconds. They successfully designed a 21,000 RPM motor on paper, but during the very first real-world physical tests, the extreme centrifugal force and intense friction caused the internal components of the motor to literally start melting. The motor's rotational speed was so violent that traditional metals warped under the sheer pressure and heat. During high-speed testing, the prototypes kept exploding or breaking their internal rotors, threatening to shut down the entire EV project permanently. Tianmin Li's engineering team desperately hunted for a material lighter than aluminum but stronger than steel. They developed an ultra-thin, incredibly strong carbon fiber sleeve to tightly wrap and secure the motor's rotor. Alongside this, they implemented an advanced bionic cooling system, which tamed the extreme heat and allowed the motor to break global performance records safely. The motor was cool, and the speed was terrifying. But now, they needed to transform this fast piece of metal into an intelligent robot. To do that, they needed a software mastermind. The true defining factor of a next-generation EV is its software. Xiaomi's car couldn't just be a vehicle. It had to act like a smartphone on wheels, allowing users to seamlessly control their mobile devices and smart home appliances from the cabin. Developing automotive software, however, is infinitely more complex and safety-critical than programming a phone. This brought about the entry of Li Go, a legendary authority in automotive software and smart driving, who joined as the vice president of Xiaomi EV. Li Go immediately integrated Xiaomi's proprietary operating system, HyperOS, into the vehicle architecture. He created a seamless ecosystem where the car's console, the user's smartphone, and home automation systems synced within seconds, turning the cabin into a futuristic living room. The cabin was smart, but a premium EV in this era is nothing without autonomous driving. If the car couldn't drive itself through chaotic streets, Tesla's autopilot would crush them. Autonomous driving requires a flawless network of algorithms and sensors. It had to navigate China's hyper-congested, chaotic, and narrow city streets without failing. A single software glitch could cause a fatal accident, permanently erasing the brand's reputation before it even started. Li Go pushed his software team to the absolute limit. They deployed state-of-the-art LiDAR sensors, high-definition cameras, and dual NVIDIA Orin chips to build Xiaomi Pilot. He trained the AI to make split-second decisions on busy roads, allowing the car to navigate heavy traffic completely driverless and park itself in incredibly tight spaces. The car could drive itself and think on its own. But the ultimate weakness of any electric vehicle is its battery. In extreme winter conditions, EV batteries freeze up, causing the driving range to drop by half. When testing prototypes in China's freezing northern regions, the sub-zero temperatures caused the battery cells to resist charging, and the driving range collapsed. No customer would buy an expensive car that stops working during winter. Li Go's engineering division collaborated with top battery manufacturers to design a custom 800-volt high-voltage battery protection system. They implemented revolutionary inverted cell technology combined with a high-efficiency heat pump. This system automatically channeled heat to keep the battery warm in negative 20-degree climates, allowing the car to maintain its exceptional driving range even in the snow. The product was perfected and ready. But to mass produce it by the hundreds of thousands, they needed a massive factory. The problem? The government had stopped issuing new car manufacturing licenses entirely to curb overproduction. Obtaining a manufacturing license had become a bureaucratic nightmare, stalling the project for months while burning through millions of dollars daily. Even after Lei Jun successfully negotiated with the Beijing government by promising a 100% automated, eco-friendly megafactory, they faced a new crisis. Who would actually run this hyper-tech facility and ensure thousands of cars were built with zero defects? This introduced Hu Zhengnan, a legendary production engineer, widely regarded of the Chinese automotive industry. Taking full charge of the factory, Hu Zhengnan completely discarded traditional manufacturing methods. He deployed an enormous 9,100-ton hypercasting machine that stamps the entire rear underbody of the car in one single shot of molten aluminum. This reduced 72 individual parts into just one single piece, multiplying production speed tenfold. The factory was pumping out cars by the minute, but the final, most dangerous level was waiting for them. A brutal, unforgiving price war. By March 2024, Tesla and BYD aggressively slashed their prices globally to crush Xiaomi before it could even launch. If Hu Zhengnan's beautifully engineered car was priced too high, no one would buy it. If they priced it too low, Xiaomi would bleed billions of dollars and go bankrupt. Hu Zhengnan optimized the factory's operational efficiency to squeeze out every drop of unnecessary manufacturing cost. Based on these micro-calculations, Lei Jun made a historic, fearless decision. He announced the starting price of the SU7 at a jaw-dropping $29,900, cheaper than a Tesla Model 3. He openly declared that Xiaomi was willing to lose money on every single car initially, just to win the trust of the consumers. The price was out, and the cars hit the showrooms. But would the world actually risk their hard-earned money on a car built by a phone company? Or was this about to become the most expensive flop in tech history? March 28th, 2024, exactly 10 p.m., the official order books opened. Lei Jun and his entire dream team, Tianmin Li, Yu Liguo, and Hu Zhengnan, sat staring at the master monitors with bated breath. This single hour would decide the fate of their 3 years of agonizing struggle, billions in investments, and global reputation. The moment the booking window went live, the counter numbers exploded. In just 4 minutes, 10,000 cars were sold. By the 27-minute mark, orders shattered expectations, crossing 50,000 units. It was an unprecedented, record-breaking phenomenon in global automotive history. How did this car actually get built after facing so much immense struggle? It was built because of the unbreakable resolve of Lei Jun, the precise German design aesthetics of Tianmin Li, the cutting-edge software engineering of Yu Liguo, and the revolutionary manufacturing genius of Hu Zhengnan. Together, they turned the absolute impossible into reality.